Alrighty. I'm back. So, stream 48. Getting close to working on a graphical user interface for this thing. And I want to make sure that get rid of all the to-dos and have everything refactored nice. So, a couple things I need to do. I need to implement these in the bridge. And then I probably have a bunch of to-dos that are in comments and stuff. And also want to rename some things that kind of stood out to me as like not having the best name. So testing this. I don't think I'm using any sets or maps in the Lua script that I had. So I think what I'll do is I'll just have something here which is a test format. And let's do it where like we don't have any bits. Actually, I should be able to pass nothing to the ingest, and that should work, right? Okay. The idea would be we make a new parser. Raw formats we just put here. Foo. The eternal favorite. Foo equals bridge ingest with parser foo. Let's see if I can just leave those blank. Okay, so cargo, build, release. Lua, run. Oh, I didn't do those yet. Let's not do those quite yet. Lua nil to bitstream. That's not a bitstream. Okay. So need to make that optional, right? Lua value. So I did this down here, right? This. So I think I want to do it this way. If let Lua value nil, not null, nil, equals bitstream, else. Let bitstream equal I can actually just say it bitstream equals, right? This can be bitstream subset new Oh, wait. Origin's optional, right? Yeah. Why don't we just say it's none? And make this sum. Then this just becomes origin. Cool, cool, cool. So first I have to convert it. So bitstream dot from Lua, or is it Lua from? We're gonna use that Lua now. Okay, need to look it up. From Lua, right? Or to Lua? Yeah, from Lua. How do we use this? Hey there, blue bro. No thanks. Okay. Create features macro only. What did I click on? I clicked on the wrong thing. Oh, okay, so I can do it from with the class then. What you doing though? I'm working on a parser. It's called DataDisintegrator. Think of it like my own just for fun version of Wireshark, only written in Rust. So I'm gonna make something that you can drop in raw bytes and you can tell it how to parse it and it will parse it for you. Kind of like describe what you're looking at. So it's got a compiler in it. It's got a parser, and I made a bridge so that we can use it in Lua if we want, and then I'm gonna make a GUI for it. Yeah. So, for example, this is how you describe the GIF format, right? So, for example, we have this GIF file here, which looks like this, but here's its raw bytes. So it starts with GIF 89A. So that GIF 89A is in the header. So GIF starts with the header, has a string signature 24 bits and a version. So using this recipe, so to speak, the program I'm writing can break apart all the file into all of its bytes and it'll know what each one means. So if I do cargo run to illustrate that, need to be in the one directory up. You can see it's parsing. If I just go all the way to the end of the file, it finds the trailer and it's found 61 data blocks along the way. Including one of the data blocks has an application extension. It's a Netscape. Other cool things in there, right? So the goal is that I want to have, mine is sort of going to have like a hex editor on one side. I'm thinking putting on the left. On the right, there'll be a big tree view, kind of like this window in Wireshark. And if you click on a byte, it'll show you what it means on the right. And if you expand the data tree on the right and select something, it'll show you where that thing is on the left. Yeah, that's what we're working on. So I did the compiler to basically turn this into a data structure in memory. And I wrote the part that, like you just saw, uses it and pulls it apart. And I wrote some scripts in. I made made it into a Lua module so that we can pull it in and do scripts on it. So that's what I was running a little bit ago. Stage. So it's finding two different ways of figuring out the width and the height. So one way is we have this callback on part, and if it sees the field that has the width and height in it, it just spits it out. The other way is after we completely get the GIF completely ingested and we have the full-on data tree, we can basically descend in and find the thing and print it out that way. I was gonna do this one where you could descend it in one step by having a dot separated list, but I kind of got sidetracked and I thought, it's not as interesting. Oh wait a minute, no, I did that. But this is by value, and I was going to do it by reference first. And yeah, I'm like, it's much the same as by value, so let's do something more fun, which is I wanted to get all the to-dos done and then start working on the GUI. It is kind of hard. That's why we're on stream 48. And this isn't even the beginning of what I worked on. I first built this in C++ years ago. So now making it in Rust, I kind of am leveraging a lot of my old work. So I don't even remember how much time I spent on the C++ part, but it was like a hobby project before I was streaming. So a lot of time has gone into this, and it's mostly for fun though. Although it could have some uses if like you wanted to reverse engineer some kind of binary file format, or like you want to hack a save game file, or if you're working on a game and you have your own save game format and you just kind of want to like debug what your save game files have written in them, or just kind of glance at them and pick them apart. It, it it's anything you can maybe think of as like a smart hex editor, like Wireshark is like a smart hex editor, right? It's for network packets. They come in, they're just raw bytes, but then the tool like figures out what they mean, right? So something like that can be useful in a lot of situations. So right now I am trying to, this is the part that goes between Lua scripts and the library, and I'm trying to make it work with, what was I doing exactly? That we can pull in a contrived format with no bitstream at all. So making the bitstream optional. So if we say it's a Lua value, if it's nil, then we're gonna have no bitstream. Otherwise, this is the part I'm not sure how to do, but I wanted to, it needs to like cast it to the bitstream type so that we can create a wrapper for it. So I think it was just bitstream. So if we say like bitstream, maybe it's not bitstream. Hold on. I think it is bitstream. We just need to import it. Also, I don't think it's public. It is public. How come I can't like? How come it's not saying I can import it? Oh, there it is. No, that's the wrong one. Oh no, it already has it imported. But I can't do a from. Oh, I can do a from. I want to do a Lua from though. Okay, I don't know how to do this Lua from thing. I should be able to do from Lua if something implements the from Lua trait, which I thought I did. Yeah, I did, right? So I should be able to call from Lua. Why can't I call that? Let's see if I try to call it, what does it do? It says I have to use Lua from Lua. Okay, fine, let's do that. Okay, now I can call it. I just need the right arguments. So the arguments are what? The value and the Lua interpreter. Okay, so the value is bitstream, and the Lua is Lua. And that's fallible, right? We get back a result, so we should put a question mark there. And so what's wrong with this? Oh, no semicolon. A semicolon there. There we go. Look at that. Nice. So cargo build release. Should be able to run it again. Kind of like this. You're working on a horror game? Gonna go into a different stream? Okay. See you, blue bro. Cool. So I didn't break anything. I'm not printing anything in this test though. Well, it didn't crash, so that's good, right? Right. This whole thing was so I can test map and set. So if I make a set, like just return it as a value. A set was this syntax, right? So 42 and 69. And then I should be able to get it as a Lua table, right? So the idea would be print here's a set. What was it to like not print a new line? Was it to put a comma there? Let me test this. Pretend this is a set. Okay. Okay, I'm missing. Okay, it didn't like that. So I'm gonna look it up or ask ChatGPT. Let's ask ChatGPT, my new friend. So ChatGPT, do how do you print text in Lua without a new line at the end? It says you can use IO_write function to print text without a new line at the end. Okay, IO.write. Three, five. Oh, I just need to make that a valid syntax. Oh, look, it worked. ChatGPT was correct. Hey there, get off my lawn. Back in your day, we used TCL. I walked both ways uphill in the snow to get to school. You're supposed to say it like this. Back in my day, we all used tickle, and we walked both ways uphill. No, we walked uphill in the snow to get to school. Both ways. You did say it that way? Oh, I'm sorry. You're supposed to say, get off my lawn, you damn hooligan kids. Okay, so we're gonna have to have a real set here, right? So isn't that the traditional way in Lua is that you do like for key dot value, which we don't care about, in pairs foo dot value to Lua do end, right? And then in here we do an IO.write k. And shouldn't I have like a first equals false true? If not first, IO.write comma first equals false. Okay. This isn't gonna work. Is it not? I can't remember. Then. Alright, there's no brackets in Lua. Or braces, right? Okay, cool. So we got not implemented on this line of code, which is exactly what I wanted to hit. So, set of values, right? So we want a Lua value table. And I kind of want to build it like I did this unsigned integer. No, this vector here. I want to build a table with capacity and return it. But it's not going to be by doing push. It's going to be by doing a set or an insert, right? So we can still do the length of a set. It's like t.insert or t.add or something. Push is not the right one. I need to like, is it set? Set. Set key value. So the key is going to be the value. Well, it's really, that's key then. And the value is going to be just a Lua Boolean. That's the traditional way to do a set, right? Is to have a Boolean true. And I suppose we're potentially going to get an error from that. Okay. This has to be a Lua value. Wait. Oh, I need to unwrap it. Yeah, so that has to be like a into to Lua. How do we do it? Oh, value to Lua. Duh. Value to Lua. Lua value or key. Fallible. There we go. It didn't like that because it needs to be borrowed. Is not borrowed. It should have been acceptable. What? Oh, it's shared. Does it have to be shared? Does it have to be? I suppose. What? Wait a minute. I don't think it has to be. What if I make it so that it's not? What then? Oh, compiler. That'll be okay, but then we don't have to borrow that, do we? We just match that value. Set the type here, needs a dereference. Sure. Yes, I can do that. Yep. And okay, so I think what I want to do here is just borrow here. And why not? Oh, reborrow. Actually, can I just do a straight borrow there? I can. Okay, fine. Now an error here. So this one, it's again a borrow. Cool. All right. Awesome. So I don't need to do this. So now the test should work. Build, release build, and we can't because we have an error. Okay. Oh, right here. So yeah, we don't have to share it anymore. Awesome. Awesomeness. Build. Hey there, Papata Still Papa. How are you on this fine Friday evening or Friday night or Saturday morning? Okay, nice, except for we have this little thing at the end. I think that's the marker that we get from the shell if we forget to do a print at the end. Hey, look at that, it worked. Okay, so let's do a map. Let's do a map. So this is all a test, a contrived test to test set. Now we're gonna make one to test map. So this will be a map like this. And we'll have 42 goes to, I think, I use colon, right? Lulls. And we'll have kappa go to 69. Very sleepy. Tomorrow you go to cut your hair, take a nice photo for your CV and start looking for a job. May you find the job you're looking for, Papata Still Papa. May you find it. And may you have an awesome haircut too. All right, so here's a map. So here I want the value, right? So this will be, again, the value to Lua. We should get a table again. And we're going to print this stuff. And we're going to print the key and colon and then the value. And this is all in Lua, right? So it should be converted already for me. Cool. And also we forgot a print. Oh no, because there's a panic. In the correct spot, look at that. So this is key KV, keys values, right? So, well, that's already borrow. One less warning. Okay. Okay. Again, table, we already know the capacity. So this is going to be key and value in KV. So we have the value. Okay. So we have to translate both of these. So it's this, but on the right, it's another one of these. And this is the value dot borrow address of. What's really cool is the errors, if any, we handle with a single character. That's the power of Rust. Automatic try, map the error magic. I love it. So sweet. If we set it up right to do that, it's like so readable. And look, it worked. First try. 42 is lulls, cap is 69. Out of curiosity, what happens if I put a nil and say 99? Nil. Table index is nil. Oh, runtime error, huh? Did it say where? Didn't say, oh no, it says line 64. Okay, so that's interesting. Why do we get it on, oh, it's the to Lua. Okay, so the value is nil? Oh, it was probably inside of the to nil. Yeah, I bet. So that's true. That's a good thing we need to catch, right? So it's this value to Lua, and then if we get to nil, right? So if it's nil, we can't use it. So we should say we should compute the key first. Ugh, let's try that again. Key. Let key equal that. If key is not equal to Lua value nil, what we can do is nil. So if key is nil, not. Or I can just say if it's nil, continue. And we probably want to do that for both key and set, right? So right there. And then this becomes key. Build it. Run it. How come it... Okay, sometimes my shell does that. See what it did? It overwrote the line that had the map on it the first time. It's like it didn't run. Okay, so it skipped the nil key. So let's do the same thing for the set. We'll just put nil in the set. We'll put it in the middle to be annoying. It should just skip it. Yeah, see, it just skips it. For completeness, let's have a vector test. So here is a vector. We have 42. We have lulls. We have kappa. We got all the nice numbers, including 99. So this will be I pairs, and we don't care about the key, right? We're just printing out the value. So it doesn't print out nil because I guess pushing nil doesn't do anything. I think it's because nils get skipped. So if I were to print like the actual key value, the index, and I print it out like this, 2, 3, 4. Huh. I didn't think I had a skip for vector. Interesting. Let's do a debug. I'm just curious, like, do we actually see this dbg around that? Can't debug that because why? It's okay. So if I put it in here, then it'll work. Okay, so it saw it, but it never printed it. Nil has semantics in your F format? Yes, it does. It's just another kind of value. Also, I want to map it to a Lua nil. Why would nil in format map to Lua nil? Because I wanted it to. Okay, blue bro. See ya. So, hey there, Spoof. How are you doing? Nil has like special semantics in Lua though. Like I think that's why we're not seeing it in the vector because when you put, I guess when you push a nil into a vector, it does nothing, right? I can show you. It has some special meaning in some parts. So data value in I guess it's value here. It used to be that I had like option value because there are places where you don't have a value, and I use none for that. But then that led to a lot of options everywhere, an option explosion, and then it made more sense to like bake nil into the enum, just like it was in the original C++. So there, see if I can find it. Decomposer. We'll find where value is declared. I did the same thing. The value, this thing. So I think I called it, yeah, I called it empty. An explicitly empty or missing value. I didn't call it nil. So some cases where that's used. I think this is the default base class. If you coerce something, null is the error type. That means you couldn't coerce it. But if it's empty, you can always coerce anything to empty just by removing its value. I don't remember what this is for. I was just seeing if things are convertible. Promote left-hand side, right-hand side thing, right? Well, that's interesting. I didn't bother cloning if it's empty. Oh, right. This is the primary use for it. If you are parsing something and you don't do a return, so like, see how there's no return for GIF? Then the default value for the part, in this case would be GIF, would be nil. So since I have to have a value for every node, one of the types of values has to be nil or empty or none for those cases where I don't have a return statement. So header gets its value from version. Logical screen doesn't have a value, so it'll be nil. And so the way I'm when I'm printing out the report, I say, well, if it's empty here, don't bother printing anything. But if it's not empty, we render its value with an equal sign, so that when I run cargo run, and if I go down to the end, see, I'm actually printing equals nil, but really I shouldn't be printing anything. The C++ version didn't print anything. I think that crept back in after we added the nil value, right? Yeah, I think actually I should fix that. So that's in the main and ingest. We're supposed to like not print anything if it's nothing. Yeah, see how we're borrowing a value? So this should be like if part dot value. I have to, how come it's like, won't let me do value here? I don't know. Can I not do that? Oh, if I do that, right? Yeah. So I just run it again. Yeah, so that's what it should have printed all along. So that's the primary use of it. A part that has no return value has a default value of nil. But in the script stage, right? There are more uses for nil in Lua. And one of them is that these nil values, when you push them into a table, don't actually do anything. But there's a way. Was it that if you assign it explicitly? So if I assigned index 6 to nil, it would actually put a nil in there. So maybe that's what I should be doing. Otherwise, this vector is going to have things in the wrong places. Let me ask ChatGPT. How do you push a nil into an array in Lua? In Lua, an array is essentially a table where the keys are consecutive integers starting from 1. You can push a nil value by assigning to a specific index. Okay, so yeah, instead of using push, right? Okay. So what that was in data value? Yes. So it's instead of push, right? So that means I kind of want to enumerate. Enumerate, right? And so we'll get an index and a value. And instead of push, we're going to do a set, right? And the key is going to be a Lua value, integer, I64 from, try from, index. I got to do like a little map error here, right? Should have a helper to do that because it's kind of a long thing, right? And then the value, which is this. I don't remember. I don't know why this is a problem. Oh, shoot, I know why. That's... do I need to clone that? Why didn't it make me clone it before? Oh, because we're not cloning it. Because I needed to convert it. I needed this whole thing. That's why. Because I wasn't paying attention. Okay, and this has a result. Cool, so now I should be able to get nil in my array like I want. It didn't like that at all. Oh, I value stops if you put a nil in a specific index, I guess. So really, when I read it back, it should be keys, right? So not pairs, but not I pairs, but pairs. Yeah. It puts a 0 though. That's weird. Why is 0? Why a 0? Why indeed? I thought it'd start at 1. Okay, but where's my nil? It should be after 69, and it's... Oh, right. 0, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is skipped because it's nil, and then 5. So, okay, really the correct thing is I pairs, but when we do that, yeah, okay, so we don't want to set nil because it breaks I pairs. So I guess yeah, forget it. We'll just go back to the way this was here. So it's push this, and I don't need to enumerate. And that means that can go away. Hey there, KC18. How do you do all this on the top of your head? I don't. I just guess a lot of the time. let's just add a nil. It makes everything so much easier. I don't think it does. Yeah, I think I stand corrected with nil. So nil gets stripped out essentially when we convert it to Lua, because you can't put nil in a table as a it's like nil is a lack of a value, and it doesn't work in a table. So let's remove that dbg I put in. dbg. The useful little macro in Rust, what it does is it was printing the value that we put inside the dbg and then where the dbg was every time it hit that line of code. It's good for debugging. All right, well, we have a set, we have a map, and that shouldn't say map, it should say vector. Here is a vector. All right, I think it's time to move on. So got rid of all to-dos. Do I have any to-dos in code? That's not my to-do. That's someone else's to-do. Flame graph. C++ code, C++ code. Okay, those. So it's just down to documentation. Cool. That means I'm not going to worry about it. There was a couple things I wanted to fix that I didn't like. Oh, also some of these directories that are empty, let's delete them. That one, and then like this testing one we can delete. Also there's some old files. Yeah, this new and old. We don't need them anymore. And there's some perf, yeah, we can delete the perf files and the flame graph. Delete them. Okay. Oh, I also had this to do. I should probably scan that really quick. So I did that this morning. So anything about the bot, we'll skip for now. Code coverage will skip. Bot. I think we're gonna say no to this one. Just because, like, I've read that, well, maybe I should just ask ChatGPT. Is index range an appropriate type in Rust to use for expressing or maintaining the state of some range? It's probably going to say yes. Okay, what it says is, in Rust, index range is not a built-in type or trait. It seems that you might be referring to a custom type or trait that you're considering for maintaining the state of a range. If you're working with ranges in Rust, you can use the range type from the standard library. They're in the standard ops range struct. This one, okay. So there is no index range. Maybe I typed that wrong. Index. I must have typed that wrong. I guess it was just range, right? Because it has a start and the end. Half open range, inclusively below and above. Do you use source control? Yes, but not inside the virtual machine. So what I do is, every once in a while I'll do from the main directory, I'll do a send, and that copies it out of the virtual machine. Outside the virtual machine, I have a Git repo for this that I keep privately. Good time to commit. Since I used to do that on stream, and I found that it was wasted effort, wasted time. So I tend to I tend to I don't have a good discipline about how big to make commits when I'm working on my own. And so um, I think I'd only want to go back to doing commits if I could like concentrate on like, hey, let me do a bunch of work and then stop and make a commit and then move on. Um, so whenever I need to use version control, like for if it's for a job or something, then usually there's some job structure around that so that like I have to make a commit to like get code reviewed for a specific purpose, and so I don't need that discipline. I'm sort of relying on the process. Without that process, I don't have that discipline yet. So I tend to make the huge commit that says like this commit is everything I did in stream 36, and or I make these tiny little commits that I find I never go back to look at, and so it was a waste of my time. Yeah, I'm not going to lose the work, but I do need to sort of explain why I'm not using version control. Do you use version in your daily job? Nope. That's one reason that I'm streaming it, because I want to not lose the skills I picked up. The big one, yeah, Delta plus 15,000 lines. Exactly. So yeah, generally what I've been doing off stream is I do one huge commit every stream, and I'll say like I'll try to summarize what I did that stream. Um, but now when I think about it, really I should also put the stream number in there so that like if I wanted to, I could correlate it back to the VOD, but I haven't been doing that. And now we're on stream 48, and so I've kind of it's too much work to go back and correlate every commit with the VOD, and I don't want like I'm just too lazy. I recognize it's a weakness that I should probably work on. Because I don't see anything big that I really care about. And that index, where was it? Range, right? I think we'll keep that in there. I'm gonna keep that in there for now. So another thing I wanted to work on was the ingestion had this weird thing called API. And I think it should just be called ingestion, because at the top level, we rename it to ingestion anyway. So what if I like just rename this to ingestion and say, okay, file save all. Okay, and then we're just going to rename the whole type to ingestion. Okay. And then can I rename a lifetime? Okay, I can, but it's sort of not renaming them all in the same place. Probably because these could be different names if I want them to. So do I have API anywhere else? Yes, I do. Okay, cool. Kind of cool that like it knows how to do this. Okay, that hit them all. So I try to make my lifetime names. I tried to make the names of my lifetimes. I tried to pick the names for my lifetimes so that it forms an association that helps understand how lifetimes are related. So in this case, like what ingestion means is the process of parsing an entire composition, so like a whole file or something like that. In context, I should probably rename it, but I can't find a greater name. But right now in my mind, context represents the information that you need to parse some small part of the file. So whenever we need to compare these two lifetimes, it's going to be that context is the smaller of the two, ingestion is the larger. And that's important because the context actually holds the ingestion, and we say the ingestion, which lasts longer, we're only borrowing it for the lifetime of our context. Here's another API thing. This should just be called the ingestion. And this is a shared reference to the top level. It's not API instance. The top level object representing. It's not top level. There just is a share. There is an object. This is a shared reference to the object representing the ingestion. Actually, I don't want to use the same word, so we'll say parsing of the entire composition. And I want to rename composite too, because that's misleading. It should be component because the comment says component, but then I'll have to pick a different word because I'm trying to follow a rule where the name is not reused in the comment because I hate that. I hate it like when you see like a comment for composite saying this is the composite. It's like I knew it was composite. That's what you named it. So use different words, right? At least. This is a shared reference to the object representing the parsing of the entire composition, of which this context covers some component. So component versus composition, the composition being the whole and the component being a part, right? Covers some component in that composition. Okay, and then I really want to call this component. But I need to use a different word here. This is the overall, not overall. Let's just reword this. This is the part of the composition. I don't want to use part either because part is used elsewhere. This is the subset. Don't want to use component or part. I need a synonym. This is the portion. I like portion because like part, only it's a different word. This is the portion of the composition being parsed using this context. Perfect. Okay. I'm refactoring, and here's that relationship I described a little bit ago. This says we have two lifetimes, and one of them is bigger than the other. Ingestion is bigger than context because context is just this portion. This component represents a portion of the overall thing we're parsing, and the ingestion is the overall composition. So ingestion has things like, what are the formats and what do we call back if there's an error? Whereas context is saying, we're parsing this specific component. Here's its boundary. Here's the statement, the span of the statement that defined it. Here are our local variables that we're going to toss when this component is done. Here's the path to the component. Here are the iterations of the component, right? Okay, so let's do a overall. Well, let's make sure the unit tests still pass. It's important to run the unit tests often. Make sure you don't break anything. So we didn't break anything. That's good. Let me do an overall pass of the ingestion library. You try to make your team pick up Rust for some specific tasks? You should. You know, a good project for Rust would be a one-off command line tool. And if you ever want to do that, I have some recommendations. So here's some crates to look at if you're going to make a one-off command line tool that just does something. It is called names escape me now. Okay, we'll look it up because I use it here. Oh, I know what it is. It's called clap. The command line. Why is the search so slow? Search. Bad gateway. No. libs.rs is down. Well, we have to go to the backup then. Crates. I don't like crates as much. Anyway, clap. the command line argument parser. It's really nice, and when you start using it, you'll be like, I totally want to make command line apps now because they're so fun to make now. Because like it's always such a bummer to have to worry about parsing your command line arguments. But with clap, all you need to do is derive a clap parser, and you just put your arguments with the names and the types, and then you can do something cool. It auto generates the help stuff. So you can say run ingest, but I want to help, right? And I'll show you. Look, it generated all of this usage automatically, all from that, all from that. And you can add attributes in here to make it prettier if you want. But it takes all the grind and all the unpleasantness away from command line arguments. And a command line tool, a one-off command line tool, is a great introduction to a language because your task is very small and narrowly defined and usually doesn't take that long to make. Thought Rust was safe. How's it upside down? I think it's because it's actually not one of the main Rust things. It's just like an alternative to crates. See, now it seems to be working. I just like its format better than crates, but it itself is made by some volunteer or something. It's not part of the main Rust stuff. Yeah, clap is pretty good. But yeah, I'd totally recommend a command line app. Just like pick some useful thing that you'd like to have in your that your shell doesn't already do, and just try writing it in Rust. Or just pick something your shell already does and say, hey, can I write that in Rust? Okay, back to here, ingestion. I'm gonna do one pass through this from the just top to bottom. Okay. I mean, this looks great to me. Is context something that we don't export at the crate level? Do not have context. I should just click on lib. Okay, yeah, it's not public. Why do I have it up here though? Oh, because I used it down here. Okay. I'm just thinking like I that's a public thing available at the crate level. Like, why am I digging into context here? That's the only thing I'm digging into. So it's sort of a code smell, but it's fine. Same thing here, and this is, yeah, ordinary normal stuff. Okay, this is evaluating expressions, right? Constructing maps and evaluating expressions. It looks good to me. We never wrote a test for that. I don't feel like writing a test for it right now. I don't see anything. Nothing's standing out as being bad here. This is appropriate because it actually is in the parent from here. In fact, I wonder if this should say super context also, and this should say pub use super. No, actually, can I do that? Can I just say that? Will that work? It does work. Then we should do it that way. We're pulling in context from the parent because we can. Whoa. Super context. Then we don't have to go all the way to the crate level. It's like proper structure, right? Context, we're in the context, so we should just be able to go to super and get it. Same thing with reference. All right, super context, exactly. Meme clear bombs, how are you doing? Or BAMs. I always see bombs when it's BAMs. Sorry about that. And then, hey there, King. And Hikaru. Forgot to say hi. In fact, I was talking to King and I didn't recognize it was a different name. Sometimes I just look at the words that you guys write and I don't look at your names and recognize that, oh, this is someone who I haven't said hi to yet. Gonna rewrite bash in Rust so it's never crash? As long as you start with the very essentials. So, for example, if you type something, it should break it up and take the first word and look for it as a program and run it. Then maybe add the path environment variable to it. Are you crashing bash often? Yeah, that's a good question. King, do you crash bash often? Crash and bash? I actually haven't had a whole lot of crashes in my shells in a long, long time. I think my VS Code has crashed more often than the shell has. Okay, there was some like questionable stuff here, right? I mean, this is a little bit of a weird thing, but I have a comment saying like, well, there are certain conditions you have to meet in order to go into the self iterations, right? Yep. It's probably the most complicated part of the parser is this dereference stuff. Okay. This all looks good, I guess. Yeah. Why is there a comma there? That kind of stands out as like, why do we have a comma there? Okay, all I've gotten, all I can give credit for the last 10 minutes is removing a comma. Is return scope something public? No, that should not be public at the top level. Let me review the public API service. So we have dereference, we have data component and with arguments, ingestion, optional error callback. Where's optional part callback? Why is that not here? I don't know, but shouldn't it be? That should be there. Ingestion, value helpers as data value helpers, value data, yeah, that's good. That's because we use it here. The different kinds of bit streams, bitstream itself, bitstream handle, and reference is there because we use it there. Okay. Drop into here and, well, hold on. I shouldn't jump around like this. I should stay. See, I think what it is I do that motion so quick, VS Code thinks I'm dragging. It might be because I'm in a virtual machine and there's a little bit of lag. So we have an okay, but that's because we want to have early exit. Yeah, those I have to be careful about. Oh, API. Let's look for the word API. Yeah, let's fix this. This will be in a few places. Okay. Um, there's an API test. Well, that one's fine because that's testing our API. That makes sense. In fact, this is where I should have a test for that parse reference thing. I never made a test for it. Okay. Well, everything's refactored. The scripting interface is good enough. I don't want to completely like fill in the scripting interface. I want it to like fill in as needed. So I need to have some other need drive it. And I think that next need is going to be that we have an unsafe file. I think the next need is going to be a GUI. So I think I want to start by trying to construct the window itself. And I want to have like, I don't know if I need it, but I think I want to see if I can do a menu bar, kind of like what VS Code has, because it's nice and traditional. It makes old folks like me feel better. And then I want to have like, see if there is a hex editor, we can use that. Otherwise, we can try to build one. And I don't know how to do any of that. I don't know how to make a custom widget, but it might be fun. Hopefully, it'll be fun to learn how to do that. So that means I'm starting a new project here, right? And I should probably, when people ask about what I'm doing, I want to be able to show them on this list. So we did this script host. So this, I had a couple different names. It was like WPF, I had made a WPF GUI and a Cocoa GUI, which I still have here. There's the Cocoa GUI for the Mac, and then I have WPF GUI for Windows, and I never made a GUI for Linux. So I think I'm just going to call it GUI. We're going to call it GUI. So purpose, user interface. Graphical user interface, which is what GUI stands for. Graphical user interface, providing both raw hex as well as, let's say hex, ASCII. Let's say providing the traditional hex, ASCII editor view of a data file that can be dropped in. Come on, cursor. Dropped in along with data displays driven by Lua scripts leveraging the ingestion library. The leveraging the other libraries, or our libraries. Or yeah, sure. Okay, so when I describe this, I'll say we're working on the GUI, and years ago I made 2 of them, and it is the graphical user interface providing the traditional. I don't need a comma there. Providing a traditional hex ASCII editor view of a data file that can be dropped in, along with data displays driven by Lua scripts leveraging our libraries. Synchronizing them in response to user navigation. So meaning you click on a byte and then it opens the thing in the data display that says what the byte means. Then you click around the data display and you might click on like a data packet and then it highlights which bytes that is. So let's start with an application shell. This is of course going to be in Rust, so we need to have it in our workspace, don't we? We need to have a GUI. Okay, so Rust Analyzer hates me now because they didn't make a folder called GUI. So let's go ahead and do that, and it's going to need to have a cargo.toml, and let's just pick one from ingest. Anything will do, right? So I'm going to copy and paste that, and then I'm going to make a folder called src with the file called main.rs, And in main.rs, we're going to have a main, and why type it when I can copy it? We're going to copy, and we're going to paste, and we're going to have a to-do. The whole application's to-do, and the cargo toml says this is GUI. We're going to use anyhow. We're going to use, do I use clap? Really, it's a GUI, so it's meant to be clicked on as an icon. So it won't have a command line, right? So let's say we're not going to use clap. It will use the ingestion library. It won't use... Actually, I do want to use I think we're going to have a custom logger, and we'll have like where you can see the log if you want, because that's where a lot of our error diagnostics are printed. We need a lexer, we need a parser. I'm not going to use simple logger. We're going to have our own custom one. Don't know if we need utilities, so we'll delete that for now. And I'm going to want mlua, right? And I think we're going to pull in our bridge library. If I can figure out how to have it double as a, not a module. Right now it's set to build as a module. Right? It's set to be a Lua module. Actually, there's nothing that says that I can't embed Lua in a Rust GUI. And then with the embedded Lua, I can just tell it to import my module and just sideload it and have it just preloaded, right? So why don't I just go ahead and say, hey, we're using the bridge too. Copy all this stuff. Copy, paste, bridge. There we go. Oh, and we're gonna want mlua. So go to bridge, cargo toml, and copy the mlua. We probably need stuff like span too, right? Copy that. I don't know. Is this a bad idea to pull in stuff before I know I need it? We already have parser. I just don't know if we need span. We would need span if we're going to be declaring any types that have error messages in them. Why did bridge need span then? One way to see if you actually needed it is just try to delete it and see what happens. I guess we didn't need it because I didn't get any errors. I can say cargo build package bridge, and if it builds without it, we didn't need it. Didn't need it. But let's say we deleted parser, right? Now if I try again, and we already see the red things lighting up. Yeah, see, we need parser. Definitely need parser. But we don't need span. Do we need AST directly? And the answer is no, we don't need AST. Pretty sure that absolutely we need, right? Yeah. What about the lexer? Can I do without the lexer? No. Yeah, okay, so that's the minimum. So I should probably make the GUI also have, like, doesn't need to say span, right? What was the other one? Log ingestion bridge. Oh, it was AST, right? Well, we don't have AST on the list. Okay, so this should minimally work, right? Cargo build. And if I run it, it's just gonna panic. You forgot B between can and dropped. I did? Can dropped. Dropped. Oh, thank you. I did forget that. Points. Get off my lawn. 1. Oh, you know what? I never actually started my bot. It would help if I started my bot. We've gone an hour and 15 minutes with my bot being asleep. There we go. You have 11 points now. And it's a good thing no one tried to run a command during that whole hour. The only problem is my bot doesn't know that we banned Blue Bro, so I actually don't have a command to tell my bot that. pity. Yeah, lucky number 11. Well, you can't earn any more points then. Jeez. B. Yeah, thank you for that. There are some embedded languages made in Rust. You still haven't found a use case for them in your projects? I really like embedding Lua because it's super easy. And it's very versatile. A lot of games use Lua. A lot of other tools use Lua, like Blender uses Lua. Factorio uses Lua. It's just like really nice and versatile and small, and it's easily sandboxed, like I described this morning. You delete things out of the interpreter before you let your user's scripts run. So you can control what the user can do. Like you can say, I don't want them to access files. I don't want them to open network connections. So you just remove the IO module and net module or whatever it is. Or you just compile them out so that they're not there to begin with. And you can even like set up a restricted set of global variables and say, these are the only global variables you can use. And really, without adding things in, there's not much that a Lua script can do other than access the variables it starts with, right? So it's really nice for that. You can like trust, or you can have trust that the user can't hack into the core of your game or program or whatever it is, unless you specifically allowed them to. Okay, so we built, and if I do cargo run bin GUI, we should get that it's not implemented yet. Why is it building again? Oh, did I not build after I changed the cargo? Yeah, I must not have. But yeah, okay. So not implemented yet. Let's implement it. Let's totally open a new window so that I can like look at what we did for the last project, the WGPU playground. Okay, so in this, we had cargo toml. So I'm going to want eGUI for sure, right? And I'm going to want eGUI WGPU and eGUI WINIT. Looks like they're on version 23 now, so maybe we'll take them and try version 23. So we want these for sure. How do I go to the other Visual Studio? How about I just drag this to another workspace? We'll drag it to that one so that I can go like that to go back and forth. Okay, so the GUI is going to have that, and let's move to 23. Okay, and then while that's thinking, we're going to want the WGPU itself, right, and the WINIT. Yeah, it looks like, so it's been a couple months, right? So they've updated to a new version since then. So should we just be daring and try the latest version? I think so. Okay, while that's thinking, Rodeo is audio, right? And that's the physics engine. We don't need those. We might need an algebra. Because I'm gonna do a little bit of drawing stuff, right? No, I'll pull it in when I need it. Probably don't need image or futures. Probably don't need ByteMuck. Oh, might need ByteMuck. Because we have to at least be able to draw the triangles that eGUI gives us, right? Okay, and then I think we're done with that for now. I want the app to see what the app does, right? Okay. Okay, I'm lost. The app is too big. Oh, was it? It was main. Sorry. I'm like, shouldn't it just be a main function? Okay, so here it is. We make a context, we create a window, and then we need to have some kind of app that the event loop generates factories for. Yeah, well, the whole one of the purposes of making this playground was to make a prototypical app that I can just copy from. So that's what I want to do in this main. We're just going to make like a hello world minimal thing that draws something, right? I'm not going to do that window abstraction thing though. I'm just going to copy the winit stuff directly. So this. So we'll have, this is my window type, right? What was positions again? What did I use positions for? Oh, that's for cursors. I think I just want to grab this entire file. Let's grab this entire file. So this is the window. So can I just paste it here? I can. I'm going to rename it window. All right. So I don't need abstract mouse position, right? We don't need abstract event or window. What's GUI integration? I forgot what that is. Was it an app here somewhere? I don't remember where this stuff was. I'll just click on it and find it. Oh. Okay, I need some of this, right? GUI raw input. Oh, this is just a trait. Okay, so I probably don't need that. So delete that. Okay, we need that. Okay, so yeah, we do need algebra. So let's grab algebra from here. Well, grab the inclusion of algebra, copy, and then go over here and paste. Okay, convert. Does that mean I need byte muck? Let's just grab byte muck. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need it, so let's just grab it. Okay, grab byte muck. All right. And this create window. Oh, we have to have a mod, right? Mod window. Because there's a create window there. Yeah, I really confused it. Rust Analyze is struggling to keep up now. It's like, I can't keep up. It's really confused. What's wrong with this? Syntax error. Is this not correct? That's how you declare a module, right? I think it's just really, really, really confused. Let's restart the Rust Analyzer. You can restart, please. Let it think for a while. Maybe while it thinks, I should get a drink. Because as we're aware, I'm not going anywhere. Stop it now. I mean it. Anybody want a peanut? Okay, I thought it was ready to talk to me, but apparently it's not because I had the little Cylon going at the top there. Whew. Whew. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it froze there. I would like modules being at the top. Thank you very much. create window. It still doesn't understand that it's in maybe I don't, maybe it's not called create window there. Event loop is a winit thing. Okay, this is correct, right? But I don't need to do this. So let's just combine these two. Okay. I don't need this. Actually, yeah, because it's the same. So there's no there's no abstract window. It's concrete. I don't need the abstraction. Handle event. See, it's been too long. I can't remember this stuff. We don't need this because now we've folded the two types together. What is this abstract event? Here it is. I don't remember this stuff. If I find the mapping between abstract event and winit event, that would help, right? So what if we just look for this? Maybe in the other project? Okay, maybe I need to do find all references. Okay, here we go. Window app. Ha. Where is it generated though? Oh. Yes. I think I can convert, I can collapse app, what the app used to do with the window. Okay, yeah. And it doesn't know where to get that from. Okay, it's event. It's a WNIT event. WNIT, okay. I think we just call it event then. Oh wait, it's not an eGUI event. See, that's why I named it, because the eGUI event's different. Oh, I have the import there. Why is it not like it? So it's already imported. Zero lifetime. Why is there a lifetime argument? Oh, did they change this? Okay, well, that means that my old code is broken then. Okay, so they got rid of the lifetime requirement on that. Okay, fine. I think we're not going to have a handle app event, actually. Because we only use that. So I think what I want to do is this will just be handled internally to window. because what it used to do, let's see what it used to do again. Rusfanya, hello, and Meme Clear Bams, hello again. Are you saying hello to Rusfanya? Sometimes I don't know which direction you're facing when you say hello. It's handle app event, right? I think we just handle it directly in there. Wait, why does this... Oh. The app does that. Yeah, this weird stuff because of the abstraction. I think I still want the separation between app and the window. It does make sense to have an abstraction. So maybe I keep that abstraction so that the app doesn't need to know about W, if that's working with W init. So what's my app though? Okay, I remember this. Yeah, so inner had like everything we're doing in the app. Right, and it was abstract from the window implementation. One was through this, so now I'm thinking I should just keep the abstraction because it's a convenience. So hold on, that means that really what I want to do is undo everything I did to window. No. Yes. I can't decide. How about no? I don't know if, let's just delete it and then recopy it. So delete. Copy and paste. Okay, and let's delete that useless line there. So this abstraction, did I define it here somewhere? I don't see where I defined it. Oh no, there was a window.rs. Okay, here's where we defined it. Okay, so yeah, I want this one too. So copy and paste. Not there, but here. So there will be an app and a window and a winit, and the app will know about window, but not the winit, and the main knows about both of them. That's the separation of concern. So I still need that window implementation jazz. Oh, that's just saying which one. So I actually don't need that right now. Yeah, the app, the create window just creates the window, and we get back a window abstraction. Okay, I know what to do then. So window has a create window, and so yeah, I am just going to do that. No, winit, and put that in place of this. So window is a box new W init window new with the context. And we don't need to clone the eGUI context, right? I do need to clone it. So that gets cloned there because we're giving the original to the app. We don't have an app yet, but we'll make one in a few moments. Yeah, mod W init. And we're gonna have a mod app. Okay. So just copy the existing app. That existing app's pretty big though. No, you know, I think I'm just gonna make room for it and copy select bits of it. So new thing called app.rs. And we're gonna copy like the fact that there is an inner. Empty for now. And it shouldn't be public. I don't know why it was public before. That seems like a bad thing. The app is public and it should have a new, right? And the redraw and event handler, that's because it's abstracted from the window, so we need that. Shouldn't the inner like be after the app? Anything that I need from this inner? Let's see. I don't think so. Maybe the new. Yeah. I think I'm gonna want this one, and we're gonna like rip things out of it that we don't need. This new is quite big. Okay, what else? I think that's about it, right? Okay, do I have everything I need here? There's a eGUI context, a window. We need instance descriptor. Wait, that changed? There added two things to it? What? Huh. Okay. What do we put there then? Maybe we're supposed to use a default and populate it or something? And the thing is, they changed the version on me. I think I want a default that we modify, so... all default. All... So I just want default then, right? So it's just default's default. Cool. We have log, right? Yes. So I might as well log. We allow the log. Where was I? Here. Import log. Okay, so sure, make a channel. RC, fine. Abstract window from the crate. WGPU init. We don't have that yet. Why not? Huh. Why did I put it down in drawing? Oh, I know why. Yeah, I just separated that. We want that though. So let's just hijack it and put it here. Okay. Looks like it's a free function. Yeah, it's a free function, so we're gonna keep it free. There we go. We need anyhow. That's a tricky one, right? You have to like always do use anyhow to get it. Ref cell, import that. Okay. Instant comes from standard time. Window event comes from gosh, I don't know. Looks like there are two kinds. I think we need to look and see. Event handler factory. It's an wait. How come that brings me back to abstract event? When I clicked it, brought me to the wrong place. Window event. Oh, why did I do that? That should just be abstract event, not window event. Okay. Or it should be like abstract window event. Yeah, let's call it abstract window event. All right. We don't have sound. So delete all the sound. Whoa. That was odd. It thought I was holding down control or something while I did the mouse wheel. What does this do? That event handler is used. How's this event handler used? Physics world. Okay, we don't need it. It's also ambiguous. Let's delete it, delete. Okay, we build our state. We don't have a rig. We'll have a this. It has nothing in it right now. Except maybe I should have a drawing because that has stuff we need. Well, and we probably want to have the app receiver. But I don't need anything of this other stuff. Okay, we're not going to have models yet. Ground up. Okay. So drawing an app receiver, I need to copy that from here. So need these. So drawing is a class that we need to bring over. Drawing. Do I want this just the entire class or module? Because I'm gonna need parts of it. We'll just cut out all the things we don't need. Okay, so paste. Now we have a drawing. Okay. Lots of stuff. Maybe start with deleting all of the uses. Well, indeed. Are there any as's here? I don't, oh, there are some here, but those I'm not keeping. Okay, then I'm deleting everything. We'll just re-add what we need. Delete. Don't need that right now. Don't need that. Drawing instance, no. Don't need a camera. Okay, we have a drawing. Don't have a camera. Depth texture view. I forget what that's for. Oh, I think that's for drawing, so we need that, right? We need a device, context, integration, renderer, yes. Don't need that. Probably need that. Models, don't need render. We need that. We don't need that. We need that and that and that. Okay. So this doesn't show up with any errors because we're not doing the mod for it. It's a lot of stuff that you actually need to get this stuff working. Still doesn't know what WInit window is. Where are we? Oh, I have WInit. I forgot to add that. I didn't forget to add that. So what did I call it? Their window or something? Yes. Okay, so then this is use WInit window as WInit window. Cool. Okay, drawing is from the drawing crate. Receiver is from sync. Oh, we don't have a message yet. Message. Okay. Find message. Here it is. Okay. So these are all app specific messages. So I think I just need to have one at the app level. Sure, we'll put it here. So there's message. Okay, so instance comes from WGPU, right? So does surface. So does surface configuration and device and queue. Whoops. There. Oh, we need futures because this is asynchronous? Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, we need futures. I didn't think we needed it, but we do. I should just know it's 0.3 and it's never going to change. Okay. There we go. So yeah, this is just initializing WGPU, so everything it's all boilerplate, right? And then making a new window, yeah, it's just doing the WGPU init, creating a surface. That's all cool, right? And that creates our app. Cool. Okay, so drawing. We gotta import all the things now. Okay. Depth format. Oh, that's a constant? Shoot. I didn't know I had constants to deal with. Jeez. We should probably copy max draw rate too. Probably need that one. And this is I'm declaring in the app, so yeah, we have some constants. So depth 32 float is our depth buffer format, and then we have 60 frames per second for the draw rate. So this we can why is it not seeing it? hold on. How does drawing... Oh, so how come I couldn't figure that out from here? Oh, because it's not in super. Oh, do I need to put drawing under the app? Yeah, okay, so that was by design. So app has a module called drawing. So drawing goes in app, move, and it's not under main anymore. That makes sense because we're not using drawing here and stuff like that, so... Okay, then I can import from super now. Okay, we don't need a model renderer. Right? We do need a depth texture view. We don't have a camera. FPS or models or model render or render measurements. Okay. Texture ID. It's the eGUI thing. So is the image delta. Command encoder. Screen descriptor. Don't have a draw. We don't need to draw models. Actually, maybe I do need to draw models. Is this the eGUI stuff in here? I don't think so. Let's just delete it. If I need it, I'll copy it back. Okay, I do need this, though. I don't need that. We don't do that. So this is just render eGUI. Okay. No more, don't need to do that. Draw. Okay, we're going to have that, so maybe I just define that now. Can we copy it from here? Info overlay is in app. Okay, so copy. And then app, paste info overlay. Okay. So we'll have an info overlay. That means this has to declare it mod info overlay. So drawing is actually in a different place. It's in our submodule now. I don't need a self. We just use drawing. Okay. Super info overlay. I don't need to draw models. So yeah, that is deleted. Max comes from standard compare. Duration comes from time. Max draw rate comes from super. And we're good with that. Okay. We have no camera. So this gets deleted. Screen to world goes away. Okay. Hold on a sec. You didn't hold on a sec. I told you guys to hold on. Hold on. Okay, when we resize, we have to create... See, a lot of this is just boilerplate. In fact, I'm kind of thinking now, once I get this working, I save off a copy of it and say, this is like the minimum to draw something with eGUI. Okay, you don't need to hold anymore. Hey there, Vincent. Create models, gone. Create model cube, gone. Create ground model, gone. All right. Surface texture. WGPU thing. Hey there, hey now. Render pass. Render pass. Actually, shouldn't it be able to get that directly? Ooh. So we're missing, there's some new things. Timestamp rights and occlusion query set. So they must have added that. So there's some new fields we have to figure out. Defines which timestamp values would be written for this pass and where to write them to. So I guess we set them to none. Defines where, so we're gonna set them to none. Unless, is there like a new we should be using for this? I will just set them to none. Pop-up betrays me. Instance GPU. That is a log. This one it won't know how to import, so I gotta do it manually. Use anyhow. Okay, we're almost done with the imports. So there's no FOV because there's no camera. Okay. Right, we're not gonna have anything in the info overlay at first, right? So we can delete all this stuff, except the sender. We're gonna keep that as part of the infrastructure. So the only thing we're keeping is the sender. And then I have nothing in the UI, right? So the content will be empty. Should I just have like a label that says hello world? Format, so we'll just say hello world here. Hello world. And that's it. Delete the previous user interface. Cool. So there's no FO. Why is this stuff here? Blah? RS is Rust, yes. So we got some commands for that. It's a systems programming language. If you would like to learn more, you can go to the Learn link. And you might ask me why Rust, and it's because I like it. Those are the reasons why. Oh yeah, this is just to send the app a message that the camera changed. This shouldn't exist anymore. And why am I? Okay, we should be getting warnings here, but we're not because we're getting other errors. Yeah, we're not using clap in there. We're not using full tick or winit. No, actually, we are using winit. But this is in window, right? So it shouldn't care. This only has the abstractions. Yeah, we're not using this create window. We're only defining the abstractions. So I don't need to do that. Actually, this whole thing goes away. And yeah, we don't need any of this. Oh, except for, is winit supposed to be a module? Well, it's not. Maybe it needs to be. Okay, 5 errors. Oh, yeah. That's because it was a okay, let me go back. Let's say that it is a module. And we'll just keep going back. Let's undo a bunch of deletes I did. Okay. We are going to get rid of full tick in that. Okay, let's move winit as a subfolder of window. Or make it a window and move winit into it, really. There we go. And then main won't have a window. It just has the winit, or it doesn't have a winit, it has a window. So this should say window, winit window. Yes. Okay, that's better. That's why I had that problem earlier, right? Okay, so get rid of full tick. And we don't need a value. Well, this goes away. I like to have the mod at the top. Okay, so yeah, the create window, let's just have it do this. Box new. Okay. Actually, I'm wondering why it didn't tell me that this is not an okay. It should. So let's get one step ahead of it. Yeah, so I do want kind of want to put one level of abstraction away. So main doesn't need that. It should just do window dot create window, right? Right. Like that. That? Yes. I can do window create, right? And I don't need to do that if I just name it create. Okay. Keyboard betrays me. There we go. Okay, winit. What am I doing wrong here? Winit event. Can't help. How did I break this? Oh, this is new to WNIT. It has a scale fact. Well, there's an inner size writer? That's different. So they changed some things. The window scale factor has changed. The window will be resized to whatever value is pointed to by the new inner size reference. By default, this will contain the size suggested by the OS, but can be changed to any value. Oh. So I can ask it. I can request the size. How does this work? Oh, that's to change it. And how do I get the existing one? I don't know. How am I supposed to use that? Because I've been using the width and height before. Maybe I should just go back to the old version that I knew worked and then deal with this later. What? Expected result. What event loop? What did it used to do? Where? Wait, is that because this returns that never returns? So then, does it return something now? It does. They changed it on me. Okay, that's enough. I've had it with trying to figure out this new stuff. I'm going to make it the same old version that I tested with before, and then later I'll move up to the newer one. So what version was I on? Let's see if we can use the newer WGPU, but older WINIT. Actually, no, let's just move back to all the same versions as before, and we'll be slower to update. Let's get it working and then try to update the latest. All right. So this should like fix some of my problems. And then this is like the new things that were added, right? Well, actually, I need to let it sit there and parse for a bit. It's thinking. Okay. Okay, it got rid of those errors, but I have other errors and okay, yeah. There is no FOV look calibration. We do want to draw a panel with some margin and show it, but we don't want to do this stuff. Okay. Inner, we have, oh, okay, I deleted some stuff I needed to keep. Handle stuff, right? I don't know where to look. Is it? No, it's not here. It's in the apps inner. This thing. Oh, wait, no, it's just a, it's a function. I need to have that. I need to copy that. I must have deleted it by accident. Unless I moved it. Nope. So where was it before? And I just deleted it. Oh, okay, we'll just recopy it. Do I have a handle event? No, I don't have anything. I just have the new. I deleted everything but new. Where is the new? Right there. Okay, so I do need the handle event. So I need the handle event and the handle message. Paste it there. Okay. Except for there is no messages yet. So we're just doing a match and doing nothing. Okay. WInit event. No, this needs to be the abstract window event. Hold on. Window event. I need to rename it. Abstract window event. What happened to abstract mouse button? Probably need to import it. Yes. We're not gonna have dragging yet, so we're not doing anything with mouse down. So match button I don't care about. Let's just do nothing there. So dot dot. Same thing here. Not doing anything with the mouse yet. Same thing. Dot dot. Same thing with mouse wheel. Not doing anything with it. Debug. What does it not like about this? Type message is non-empty. Well, but it is empty. Okay, we'll just delete it for now. Missing handle redraw. Here it is. Why am I missing this? Oh, because it was sprinkled in with app-specific code. All right, so deal with any messages sent from the UI. Yes. We don't have a camera rig. We don't need to update the camera. Don't need to advance the sim. So this is like other stuff that we do on redraw. I do want to keep that comment there. That's where we'd synchronize the info overlay. Draw last. So I don't need to collect instances to draw. We still draw, but there's no model drawing instances. Do I not have the overlay in the inner? I don't. Why did I delete that? I don't know. We need that. Definitely. Don't want to have a self, so we're deleting the self. There we go. And info overlay. How do I delete that? I think at some point I just decided I didn't need it, I guess. New. Where are you, new? How come I don't see new? Oh, I have two implementers? Oh, no, that's just one implementer. I was looking in the wrong spot. Okay, where's my info overlay? Oh, here it is. I deleted that line. There we go. So the app receiver, app sender, that's the connection from the info overlay back to us. And when we redraw, we handle those. Okay. Didn't need that. Drawing. Okay, so I don't need to do that. We don't need to. Okay, so here's where we would update the info overlay if we had anything to update it with. So we're leaving the function, just leaving it empty. Right, and these, we're going back to the old version. Okay, cool. So we should use WGPU init. How did that? Okay, these we know we're not using right now. This should be called. Okay, so I'm missing stuff. Something should call WGPU init, and we don't have anything doing that. Oh, we have two of them? Oh crap, how'd that happen? I must have merged. I think I merged stuff in and I forgot I did it. Yeah, so it should go into drawing, so app shouldn't do it. Yeah, okay, yeah, I think that's what happened. That should go under drawing, which drawing already does it. Okay. So it should call it, so that means we have other errors now. Right, so is that because this one actually imported it? Yes. Okay, so I'll do the same thing. Actually, let's just say drawing. Fully qualify it. Then it won't happen again, right? Okay, we don't need to mutate it because we're returning it, so let's forget why I had to do that. It's just okay here. All right, and don't need any of this stuff. Or that. Okay, that's bad. Why? Oh, I think that's used by stuff I don't do anymore. Because it's non-boilerplate stuff. So the app used to do it in order to convert. Okay, yeah, it's converting like azimuth to it's using it for its what do you call it? The aspect ratio. Yeah, so we don't actually need it then. So I guess I'll delete it. There it goes. Don't need slider. Don't use the 3D vector. Don't have a camera. Yep, that's true. Don't need any of that. I do plan to use this sender. We're just not using it yet. So I'm gonna, comment it out. Comment that out. And we say we're not using the sender yet. Okay. Okay, so let's see what it actually does. If I did this right, then it should just show a window should pop up with a hello world label, and that's it. Then I gotta do some like research into like how to add a menu bar and stuff like that. And it feels like I've been streaming longer than 2 hours. I guess that's accurate though. Is it? Did I only start at 6:30? Huh. Hey, look at that. We got a window. I guess our default color was blue. Also, it's the top panel thing. That I can change right away, right? So in the info overlay, it's not a top bottom panel anymore. Wouldn't it be like central panel? Frame? Or default? I wonder why it takes so long to build. There we go. So I got rid of that line there. Why is the default color blue? Is that just something we're setting when we draw? Oh, it would be like set up when we create stuff, right? Like not render setup. In new or something like that, right? Oh, wait, no. It's in that free function, that WGPU init, right? Service config. That's not it. Okay, so where do we set the like other stuff? I forget. That is, let's show the call hierarchy. So it's call from new. Okay, which is called by new app from main. Right, there's our GPU init. So is it in drawing new? Like, where do we set stuff up? It's been a while. Okay, why don't I just look for blue? Or clear. Here it is. Oh, every time we start a render pass, we tell it what colors to use. So it's gonna be all black, right? I like black. Or like, that's the vision I had was dark mode UI. So it's gonna be clear color, all black. Yes. Okay, cool. I ought to take a snapshot of this as like the very basic elementary app because and I should refactor this first before I go any further, right? So start at the main. So we make an eGUI context, we make a window. So we've abstracted away that it's winit. So window just creates something. In actuality, it's an abstract window we pass to the app. So the app still doesn't know what kind of window it is. In actuality, window create is creating a winit window. So all this is just the abstractions, and then here's the dependency injection. So it needs an eGUI context, creates the event loop and the window, and here's our default dimensions. I don't think this is actually obeyed. If I make it 200 by 100, it doesn't actually make it wider. This could be a starting point for any other programs with the UI as well. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, like, that I should take a kind of a snapshot of it. So this that's physical position on the screen. Is that just a hint? Doesn't seem like it has any effect. Or maybe it does, I'm just not noticing it. It takes so long. Oh, it does. It is pushing it over. So that's a initial position on the screen. So I should maybe consider making this a constant or an argument or something. So what if can I put a to-do right here? I can. Consider having these be constants or arguments. All right. So are we getting, oh, right. I don't have any logger, so this isn't going anywhere, but it will once I have like a panel to show the log. So we make an integration with eGUI, which is our own thing. So it's the combination of the eGUI winit state, the eGUI context, and the window. And the job of that is to call the eGUI winit on event when we get an event. We feed it into eGUI, and we take its response back out. Dense fog advisory. Okay. Well, I lost my place here. I forget. Oh, right. Event loop is a temporary spot because then the main takes it back out, right? I think in the app, it takes the event loop out. I'm actually not seeing it do that. Hey there, Oromon. Bevy 0.12. I'm a little bit behind in the libraries I'm using. I need to move up to the latest. It broke a few things though. And I wanted to make sure that I have a Hello World GUI program, right? I want to clean it up and then move to the latest libraries and like repair that before I actually do anything more in my GUI. But hey, look, I got eGUI running with winit and WGPU. Cheating by using my last project's files. But I don't like the fact that it took me a while to strip this down. So maybe going forward, I need to be more conscious about what is the boilerplate and what is like, I should separate it so that the boilerplate is in one spot and then like the non-boilerplate is on top of it and it's easy to separate them, right? Yeah, what happened to that event loop thing? So we have an event loop here, and I put it into an option for some reason. Here it is. We're taking it out. Oh, because this never returns. Right now, it currently never returns, but that was one of the things that breaks. If I move to the newest version of WInit, it actually returns something. This never returns. So I have a comment here. Take the event loop out of self so that the closure we give it can own self. So we're moving self into here. That's why it comes in owned. It's in a box because it comes from the position of we might not create this implementation of window. We might create an alternate implementation. And this is comes from a trait called abstract window. So it doesn't know the concrete and it needs to own it though, so it has to box it. Is that why? No, there's some other reason why I had to box it. Now I can't remember why. Yeah, well, what happens if I don't box it? It's as good a time as any to try to figure this out. So abstract window, like, let's say it doesn't need to be boxed, right? Then what's the issue? Type of self parameter does not need to be arbitrary. Change it to self, sure. But we do have an error. Let's see what that error is. Cannot move a type of dyne window, abstract window. The size cannot be statically determined. I think that's why. The trait doesn't know the size of the window, so it can't own it. Right? It can't own self if main doesn't know the actual concrete type of window. It's a box dyne abstract window. And that's on purpose because we didn't want the main, we wanted to sever the dependency. So main is not dependent on WInit window. So it goes to this and it abstracts away, it erases the actual type. And once the type is erased, the main doesn't know the size of it. So that's why it says its size cannot be statically determined. So it doesn't know how to move it. I think that's why. It gets a box and it doesn't know how to move the box into the method because it's a move. So by making it a box, now it will work. Yeah, it needs ownership. So the only reason I have to do this is because of that separation of the dependency injection, really, and the fact that it has to go back into the concrete type by a caller that doesn't know the size of it. So that's why it's boxed. Good thing we can do that. So anyway, that's why the event loop is an option, because we planned all along to take it out to be able to move self in and be able to use the run loop run on it. So going back again. Okay, I think I lost my place. Yeah, here we are. Because I was looking at this saying, why are we putting that into an option, right? So WInit handles its events by using event handlers. So this, okay, is internally handled. Right, so this is also internally handled. It's when it's some other kind of window event where we have to go to our handler. Right, and we map, right, I remember doing this. So I map window events to more generic things. Right, so mouse input becomes like a mouse up or down. Mouse wheel becomes abstract mouse wheel. Cursor move becomes abstract mouse move. Yeah, okay. And as a side effect, we also give it to eGUI. And if it's consumed, we don't do anything with it. So only if eGUI doesn't want the event do we send it up to the app. Right. Okay. So what does the app do? The app manufactures two callbacks for the run loop, a redraw and a resize. How are those used? Are those used in here? No. I think they're in here. Yeah. This handle app event. Where does that actually go? Okay, that's handling abstract event. Wait a minute. It's passed from the top. Handle app event. Oh. That's not named correctly and then, right? It's redraw and handle event. Not Oh, well, it says event handler factory. So there's a redraw callback and an event handler callback. Right. And because they need to be boxed because the abstraction goes two ways, we have to erase the type of our own closure. And we made the inner of the event a ref cell so that we can clone self. Did I implement clone, or is it ref cell can be cloned? How does that work? You can clone a ref cell? Oh, no. There's also an RC around it. So there's an RC ref cell, and if you have a reference to the inner, you can clone that reference and then reuse it in here. But yeah, it goes back into the handle event of our app's inner, so this is abstracted back from WINIT to be like, whatever the window implementation is, it can tell us that we resized or we moved the mouse around right now. How does it get that RC? Is it in this factory? Well, the factory gets an RC. Oh, does app new return an RC? Oh yeah, look at that. It's hidden away. Okay. Oh, the reference is on the whole app. I missed that part. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's why we see the inner here. Okay, so the inner is just a ref cell, and the outer we have a reference count to. And that's sort of hidden by the fact that new returns an RC. So I'm not sure if I like that. But I guess it has to be in here because it's an implementation detail. The way that it can be a factory is it has to be able to clone its own reference count in order to use it inside. And then the borrow is because it's got a cell. The alternative would be that the inner has a reference count, but then the problem there is like that we might have other things in the app besides the inner. But I ended up not doing that. So I could just make this an RC ref cell inner, and these would just take self, and they would clone the inner and pass the inner in here. So this would be like let wrapper equals self.inner.clone, and it would just be wrapper.borrowMute. So that's something to consider, I guess. I guess I kept the RC around self just in case I had more stuff in the app other than the inner, which doesn't make sense. Why would I do that? Okay. Starting to come back to me how this is organized. So the app is like abstracted away from how the window is implemented. And then there's the top level is main, and that it knows how to create a window because it goes to window create to do it. It knows how to create it. So this does the dependency injection basically. It has the window, it has the app. It tells the app about the erased type of the window. Okay, it actually window create erases it right away. It didn't need to. We could have. Oh, it does because before I had actually had a match where it could return one of many kinds of implementations. Anyway, the main doesn't need to know the concrete type of window. It gets a type erased window. It gives it to the app. Well, it gives the app, it lets the app borrow it when the app sets up, and that's so that it can, I guess, use it temporarily. Yeah, it uses it to create a surface to get the GUI integration. Right. I remember this. And this is, it returns a piece of itself, if I remember right. The get integration. Where is it? Yes, so the window itself has an integration layer with eGUI, and that gets we get that copied. It's also sharing the context with I think the info overlay or something like that. And yeah, it gets it. Well, actually, do we even need to keep the window? Yes, to request a redraw. Okay. Yeah. Whenever we need to request the window to be redrawn, we're sharing that window with the app, right? It's a complicated relationship between the main. The main sets it up. It's the setup really, but then we're left with the app, the window. No, the app. Window is used just to set things up, and it has the abstraction. So we have the app and the Windows implementation, and then in the app we have the info overlay and the drawing code. You aiming to have all the original features re-implemented? Is there a plan for new features when the rewrite is finished? The original features of what I had before, meaning in this WPF and Cocoa, no, because I have a new vision of what I want the GUI to be. So I kind of want it to be like two panels to begin with, a hex editor and then a data viewer. And there were elements of that in the old GUI. So, but they were all organized and arranged differently. So I'm just sort of conceptually taking that, the hex editor part and the data view part, right? And those I definitely want. And then then I'll consider it the rewrite finished. After that, I think it's going to be driven by, am I still having fun? Are there some features that I want to add to it? So if either of those is a no, then I'd probably say, well, I'm going to be done with this for a while and move on to something else. But this could continue for a while because I could start using it and thinking, oh, this is cool. Let's do this next thing. So we'll have to see. I'm going to see where what my experience leads me to. Why do I have a common lifetime for all this stuff? I don't remember. I think what I'm trying to say here is none of these live longer than the others. But I don't know if I need to say that actually. Huh. I think I need to relax. I think this is a good stopping point. So let me send this out of the project, out of the virtual machine, so I can back it up. I'll probably make a label in the Git repo for this saying, here's what the GUI was when it was completely empty and just had a hello world. Sure takes a while to run it. Hey, look at that. We got a window. And this, I didn't touch this at all, so it should just work, right? All of our unit tests. Why does it have to build everything again? That's weird. It must have cleared the cache at some point. It's building a bunch of stuff that it shouldn't have needed to build. This stuff makes sense, but like, oh, maybe it is all the GUI stuff. But why does it need to rebuild like the parser tests? I didn't change any of that. Could I add a tag for it? Yeah, I'll probably add a tag for it. Cool. So pass all our unit tests. We have the starting point GUI. So the next stream, I think my goal will be to add a menu bar at the top, just because I like having the main app have a menu bar, and then that gives me like a convenient place to do stuff. And then I kind of want to see how far I can get with having a hex editor. So we'll start this GUI as a hex editor, and then we'll add the parser to it as a tree view next to the hex editor, and we'll see where that leads me. But yeah, I don't know, go eat something, take a break. I'll probably be back at this tomorrow at some point. Let's go raid Quantum Apprentice. He's working on make is not equal to CMake. See what that's all about. Yeah, thank you for watching. I will be back tomorrow probably. And it was my pleasure to stream this. Hopefully it was a fun stream. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.